What's going on, everybody? It's Counterpunch back at it again. UFC 307 pay-per-view season. Ready to break down UFC 307. If you're new to these, you can see our names on the corners. My name's Lucas. His name's Rohan. And we're here for another one of these live stream breakdowns. For those that are new, we used to record our live streams, talk for probably, like 40, 50 minutes. But here, I just feel so much more free with the live stream. You know, we could talk to our chat. It's great. But yeah, Rohan, UFC 307 on a scale of 1 to 10. First of all, how you doing? On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this card? Talk to me.
I'm doing great, my man. Honestly, man, they rounded out this card really well. I'm really excited for this card. Jose Aldo's return. He looks so good in his last fight. I'm just so happy and excited to see him back in the octagon. Kayla Harrison, we get to see. Obviously, Alex Pereira is not taking on the most dangerous opponent in most people's eyes in Khalil Rountree, but I still think that fight will make for an entertaining fight, and it's an Alex Pereira fight, so you can't get mad at that. The only disappointment is the co-main event, I guess. Raquel Pennington, Juliana Pena. They're kind of doing their part in the UFC to build up the fight. You know, they're building up the fight on embedded and things like that to try to, describe the background between these two women. But I don't know, not the most excited for that. But we get Kevin Holland, we get Stephen Thompson. I mean, you go up and down the card, you got just big names all around. So I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a fun one, definitely. How about you? How are you?
I'm good. It's going to be a great card. As you mentioned, the competition, Pereira's fighting. It's, so. I wish we still had that Sterling Evloev fight still on, but we just found out that they moved it to UFC 310. So not the end of the world. In life in general, for those that don't know, we used to be called the Hookshot Pod, where we covered basketball and the UFC. And mainly the Knicks. We're both big Knicks fans, and the Knicks just made a big trade move. So Rohan and I are super ecstatic about that. That's all we've pretty much been talking about. But here we are, pay-per-view fight week. It's going to be great. But yeah, I don't see why we don't just get right into it. I'm going to pull up Tapology here. As always warn you guys, Tapology, they, over the last month, they've sold the fuck out. And they run ads.
I know, man. The ads are insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So we apologize if any ads pop up. We do not promote any of these companies. We only promote Counterpunch Pod and Betting Hero. That's it. None of these other ads. But here we go. I'm going to share my screen right now in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk UFC 307. You can see my screen, correct?
Yeah, I can.
Let's do it. Yeah, Pereira Rountree in the main event. Pennington Pena. I can't believe Raquel Pennington's a champ, but we'll get into that later. Let's start with the first fight of the card. We've got Tim Means taking on Court McGee. And as mentioned, already 5 ads in a span of 2 seconds, but it's all good. Yeah, Tim Means versus Court McGee. It's an interesting fight. It is a very interesting fight. 2 guys that are super old. Means is 40. McGee's about to turn 40. Means has lost 4 out of his last 5. McGee's lost 3 out of his last 5. But you look at the level of competition Means is fighting compared to the level of competition McGee is fighting. Means is coming off a brutal knockout loss against Uros Medic. Beautiful uppercut, finished the fight. But I think Uros Medic is a pretty good fighter, so no shame in that. He beat Andre Fiallo, as he should have. Fiallo was 0 chin and now is getting knocked out on the regional scene. Lost to Morono. He was beating Morono up, but Morono loves that guillotine choke. So it's a bad loss on paper, but the way it was done, he was looking all right in that fight. Lost a split decision against Max Griffin. I don't think Max Griffin is horrible whatsoever. Coming off a nice win against Jeremiah Wills. And then Kevin Holland, that's not a bad win either. Yes, he's 40. Yes, he's only going to be declining, but same thing with Court McGee, who if you look at this guy's knockout losses, that knockout against Jeremiah Wells, oh my God, Rohan. It was fucking brutal. He hit him with a left hook and he just did the T-pose. I thought it was a joke. He got fucking T-posed.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was absolutely insane. And then in his next fight, he gets knocked out by Matt Brown, who's 44. Then in his next fight, he loses to Morono, and actually a closer fight. But then again, I don't think I think Means, although Means got submitted by Morono, I feel like his loss wasn't as bad as McGee's, because McGee's, although it was pretty fucking close, he lost by points against Morono. Means was beating Morono, but then just got caught in Morono's signature choke. I think Means is the better fighter, to be honest, especially at this stage in their careers. Similar reach, but the 3-inch height advantage I think will make a difference. Means, I feel like McGee doesn't have the power to touch Means' chin, and I feel like he'll just stick behind that jab. I don't see a finish in this fight. Both fighters super old, not a lot of power left. McGee's going to try to wrestle Means. We'll see how Means can defend takedowns. I believe McGee got Morono down a few times in the last fight. I believe it was in that third round where he just rode out the control there, but still couldn't get the nod. I'll side with Means. It'll be a close fight. No way in hell, apologies for this, that Means that I'll be betting on Means, especially at minus 230. Like, why the fuck would I do that? But I'll say he wins at 29-28 here. What do you got wrong?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I'm picking Tim Means to win this fight pretty clearly. And it's just based off Court McGee. He has not looked good at all recently. And you mentioned, I mean, Tim Means, even in his losses, which have been against some, decent competition. Max Griffin's decent. Uros Medic, he's got some power. Kevin Holland, even not a bad loss. But I just think that Tim Means at this stage, like you said, he's got more in the tank. He's just got more in the tank. When you're watching these guys fight, Court McGee's volume, it decreases so drastically over the course of just one round. I mean, he'll start the round off pretty strong, pumping that jab and throwing, his basic boxing combos. And as soon as those takedowns start to fail, I mean, he just completely shuts down. And I don't think Tim Means is that kind of fighter. I think even at this stage, he's got just a lot more left in him. The volume and just the activity level is going to be on his side. I think he's going to be the one trying to advance things and just mixing it up a little bit more on the feet. I think he's got more in the tool shed at his height with his reach. Just his long legs. I think he uses his knees pretty well in the pocket. He's pretty decent in the clinch when he is, fighting an inferior opponent, I guess. And I think that McGee is that in this case. I just think he's a little worse. Obviously, like you said, he'll try to mix in the wrestling. But he hasn't really had much success against anybody with his wrestling. And Tim Means is a longer, taller frame. I think he'll be able to defend up against the fence, maybe even switch positions a few times, land some elbows in there. I just think he's more savvy. I think he's just a little more technical, and I trust Tim Means to get a decision victory. I could see. I really don't see a finish. I'm with you there. I don't see a finish in this fight, but I mean, I'm just much more comfortable picking Tim Means than Court McGee, just based off of what I've seen from them over their last couple of fights. You mentioned the loss to Alex Morono. And Morono's so low volume, so for you to lose a 3-round fight to somebody like that just goes to show how bad his volume was, McGee. So yeah, definitely agree with you there. I'm gonna pick Tim Means in this one.
Yeah, the only thing that really concerns me about the Means pick here is the wrestling. Like, will he be able to stuff the takedowns? I guess we'll find out. But again, damage over control. Give me Means. In this one, shout out to the 10 people tuning in, 5 on YouTube, 5 on Twitter. Hopefully that will grow even more as the show goes on. By the way, I've got some confident reads on this card. Like, there's not a lot of cards in which, like, I'm pretty confident in each and every one of my predictions, except for maybe like 2 fights. Like, these 2 fights right here, maybe I'm like,
I was just about to say this next one, you can't be too confident. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I can. It's Ovince St. Preux versus Ryan Spann. Rohan, I'm a big believer that Ovince St. Preux is on steroids. He definitely is on steroids. Like, how does he look like being on the way out and completely shit to beating Kennedy's in
Bro, you say literally half the UFC is on steroids, so everybody.
No. This
makes sense.
Rohan, stop. He was looking horrible, which makes sense. He's 41. He looked horrible in that Philippe Lins fight. Like, couldn't even land a punch. He was so fucking slow. And then he comes back and outstrikes Kennedy and Nzechukwu. Like,
yeah, I mean,
steroids. But
and Nzechukwu didn't do shit in that fight, though. I mean, you watch that back. I mean, he was just kind of standing there. But yeah,
whatever. I just feel like the power of Ryan Spann will be too much here. I feel like he'll just hurt Ovince. I don't think Ryan Spann is arguably one of the dumbest fighters of all time. Like, he was beating a good fighter in Nikita Krylov and then just went to the ground and got choked. Like, what the fuck was he doing? Lost to Anthony Smith in a split decision. I thought he won that fight, but then again, I think at this point in Anthony Smith's career, he's complete dog shit. And then Bogdan Guskov, I mean, he was dominating round 1, gassed out. I think he finishes him in round 1. If it gets past round 1, you bet St. Preux. Maybe you just play Spann in round 1 or St. Preux by decision. Maybe that's the play. Or, I don't know, Spann by fucking decision. What could that be? That's probably like plus 1,000. Like, I feel like he could do enough in round ones and round. Although I do feel like he finishes St. Peru. I don't know. These props are pretty interesting. I see that people are betting on St. Peru here. Like, Span open minus 340. He's down to like minus 300, which kind of makes sense. Like, I don't feel like he should be. Yeah, Span decision plus 650. I do feel like Span knocks him out in round one, but we'll see. Who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, look, the Haitian side in me wants to pick OSP as usual, but I can't do it because of the age and just because Ryan Spann. I mean, coming off of 3 losses in a row now, but they're not the worst losses. Obviously, like you said, could have beat Anthony Smith. He had his moments in the Krylov fight, just like his fight IQ cost him in that one. Bogdan Guskov's just a tough opponent there, tough stylistic matchup, I guess. But OSP, I mean, it was a shockingly good performance in his last fight against Kennedy. I did not think he would win that, but he turned up the volume in a way that I just did not expect, and I don't know if that'll be the case again here. I can't trust it against somebody like Ryan Spann, who I just think does have all the physical advantage. He's 8 years old, younger, sorry, and is way faster. I mean, obviously his last big moment is we were in attendance for that when he knocked out Dominic Reyes, which isn't the most impressive. Dominic Reyes' chin and his weakness there, but I don't know. OSP, he's got that on the left side. Everything he does offensively comes from his left side. He loves that step back left hook. Ryan Spann, he's gonna have to be careful in there. He can't just let his guard down and go all out because OSP is a veteran at the end of the day. And I do think that there's a chance that Ryan Spann is has to survive a scare here, maybe in round one, and maybe even if it gets out of round one later in the fight. But I do think that you said Spann by decision. I could definitely see that happening, just because I don't think that Spann's finishing potential is the highest. Obviously, OSP's chin is a worry at this stage, 41. But Spann is not like some overly powerful guy. I mean, he does have power, but it's not that crazy. So I
don't know that Dominic Reyes loss.
No, but it's Dom Reyes. It's Dom Reyes.
True, very true.
It's Dom Reyes. So I'm not look, and that was like his only knockout in his last like 7-6 fights. So I mean, I don't know. I just if OSP can survive, it could get interesting. That's all I will say. At the end of the day, I'm not going to pick him. I'm going to pick Ryan Spann, probably inside the distance as well. I'll side with you. He gets it done by finish.
Who is Reyes fighting next?
Does he have an announcement?
Anthony Smith.
That makes sense.
The Dom Reyes career turnaround is going to hit like crack. First, he knocks
I mean, we predicted. I called the Jacoby win. Was he an underdog in that?
Yes, big underdog.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I don't know what he shouldn't be an underdog in this fight at all. But it's like you said, this is a perfect opportunity for him to just turn his career.
He's knocking out Smith. I don't care. But yeah, back to what you were saying. I feel like Spann's got power. It's just the only thing holding him back is the cardio and the IQ. But how much does that matter against a guy that's 41 years old? I don't think it'll matter a lot. I think he knocks him the fuck out. We got this guy, whoever banked Eric Nelson, is saying, I just don't see Pereira's path to victory in this fight. Rountree dominates him on the feet and on the ground. Rountree averages the most takedowns per minute. What's this guy? Yo, who is this clown in our gym? Ryan Superman Spann, round 1 KO is the lock of the card. That's something I could fucking agree with. I apologize. I do this every time. I am now on Do Not Disturb. TV television saying, I'm preying on Dom Reyes' downfall. I'm pretty sure that's already happened.
Yeah, no, that been happened, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really all we got for this fight. Let's move on. And another thing I want to talk about here, there's some fights in which that are so easy to break down. Like, there's not much to talk about with this fight. You have Ryan Spann. He's either going to get the round 1 knockout or he's going to gas out. There's not going to be much skill involved into it compared to a fight like Merab and Sean O'Malley, where Merab's going to be spamming takedowns, but where exactly can Sean land the strike to try to finish Merab? Some fights are much more difficult to break down. That's why with that fight, for example, it's an easy breakdown. Spann's got the power. Ovens has the cardio, steroids. And, we'll see what beats what. This next fight here is a fight that I could literally care less about. Carla Esparza taking on Tisha Pennington. I'm not just saying it because they're women. I enjoy a lot of women fights. And there's a women fight later between Yasmin Lucindo and Marina Rodriguez that I'm really looking forward to. I think that's going to be an incredible fight. This fight is going to be so fucking bad. Oh, my God. I mean, 2 washed fighters. You have Carla Esparza, who was the champ, with the worst belt-winning performance of all time. Her or like Anderson Silva when he didn't throw a strike in like one of those fights. Yeah, Carlos Esparza literally landed 0 punches against Rose Namajunas, came back and just got beat to shit by Wei Li Zhang. So, I mean, we haven't seen her in a year and a half, or almost 2 years now, which is kind of fucking crazy. I remember we were at that card. So who knows where she is at in her career. I know she's retiring. This is her retirement fight, and it's on the fucking early prelims. Any other UFC legend that's retiring on the early prelims, I'd be mad about this. I'm not fucking mad about. She gives the worst title fight of all time. And she's taking on a Tisha Torres, who is washed, isn't as good as she used to be, but actually was competitive with Tabitha Ricci in her last fight, and I actually thought she won that fight. Don't get me wrong, I'm not high on Tabitha Ricci whatsoever. I don't think she's that fucking good, but the fact that she was competitive with a top 15 fighter shows me that she's still in there. I don't know. I feel like Carla, if she shows up like she did against like Yan Xiaonan, I don't know. Yeah, here's this fight 3.5 years ago. Then I feel like she probably will be able to get takedowns and win a decision. It's just she's turning 37 in a week, in a few days. I just don't know. We don't know where Esparza's been at. It's been 2 years. Pennington's gonna be winning on the feet. She's gonna have more volume. We just got to see if she'll defend the takedowns. She did against Tabitha. Split decision against Dern, not a bad look. I don't know. This isn't a fight I really care about.
I mean, you're taking a mad long to get big. I'm pretty confident here. I'm not gonna lie. So, I mean, Tisha Torres is gonna win this fight, in my opinion. You just mentioned how Carla's last impressive fight came in 2021, dude. I mean, she's looked horrible ever since then. I mean, absolutely as bad as it gets. She didn't do anything. She landed maybe 3 total strikes against Rose Namajunas and absolutely got obliterated, pulverized by Zhang Weili. There's no reason I see to pick her in this fight. I'm not going to lie. I know it's her retirement fight. She's got a lot, I guess, to fight for, but it's been so long since I've seen anything from her. And on the other side, I thought that Pennington could have won each of her last 2 fights. I watched back the fight against Mackenzie Dern just yesterday. I thought she looked really good, honestly, defending the takedowns. When Mackenzie was able to get her down, going attacking submissions. Carla's going to be looking to do that exact same thing, and she had no success against Tisha. So I really do trust Pennington in this spot. I just think she's younger. She's looked better recently. She's been more active. Carla just horribly she's looked in her last couple of fights. So I have no reason to pick her here. I know that I think she's an underdog now, if I believe. Yeah, she should be. So I'm pretty confident here, man. I like what I've seen from Tisha Torres. I'm gonna call her Tisha Torres because that's what I know her as. But I think she could be 3-0 in her last 3 fights. So I'm gonna pick her.
Yeah, thank you for calling me out on that. I can't believe I talked about that fight for so long. Yeah, I agree. I'm going Tisha Torres. I think she'll have the volume on her side, and I'll take her to win a 29-28 decision. Esparza will probably get takedowns, but before we break down this next fight, let's head to our wonderful live stream comment section. We've got TV saying, allow Dom to fall further. Stop doing to you, bro.
Man, we got a big hater over here.
Dom's great. Like,
that's crazy.
His last win was beautiful. Big Derek is agreeing. Tony Ferguson flawed. Shout out Mentality in the chat. Appreciate you for tuning in. Here you go with your fans.
Hey, my boy Tate
saying, "Let's go."
I love.
Dom almost beat Jones. Dom did beat Jones. It's rigged. Dom 100% beat Jones. Dom almost lost both of his knees after that fight. With 2 torn ACLs on both knees. I don't even know what they're talking about. What are you guys talking about? You know what they're talking about?
I think who had the torn ACLs? 2 torn ACLs. Reyes, they're saying?
I have no idea. What are you guys talking about? Let me know. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Rohan giving the locks, as always. Rohan's always got the locks. Although Rohan, I ain't gonna lie, you fucked me over. I'm betting on Chris Duncan last week.
Yeah, all right, bro. That fight was just I don't even know. Whatever. Bolaji Oki is not good.
Yeah, true. Jones, I feel like that was bullshit though. I'm not really mad about it. He should have won that fight. That was some bullshit. Jones is the UFC's biggest fraud post PEDs. He has no meaningful.
That's a great comment. I 100% agree with that comment.
Yeah, I do agree as well.
From this banked Eric, he's always in the chat.
I don't know who he is, but he's dropping. Sometimes he'll say some smart shit. Sometimes he'll say dumb shit.
Yeah.
Tate Cameron will lose all. Thank you, Tate. We appreciate it. Reyes tore both of his knees during that Jones fight. Did he?
Yeah, he might have. Yeah. That's what they're saying. Okay, I got you.
That's insane. I didn't know that.
And he still put up that performance where she got robbed, man. He got robbed. We all know it. The UFC world knows that Dom Reyes beat John Jones.
And you know what else the UFC world knows? That Tom Aspinall would destroy John Jones. You agree with that?
Agreed. I think that's why John is running away. He wants to fight Stipe. That hasn't fought in like damn near a decade, it feels like. Jesus.
Okay, let's move on. We got Alexander Hernandez taking on Austin Hubbard. For those in the live chat, we greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. And what I like to do to pay you guys back is drop a few of my premium bets in here. I'll be taking a light sprinkle on Austin Hubbard's money line. I think it's at like plus 170. Don't get me wrong, this is a fucking low level fight. But I don't understand how Alexander Hernandez is a favorite. Like how? He's lost 4 out of his last 5. Lost to Damon Jackson. I'm not super mad at him about that. I don't know how that was a split, though. He clearly lost. Clearly lost to Bill Algeo. Bill Algeo is no chin. Hernandez supposedly is supposed to be a fucking power puncher. Didn't really hurt Algeo in that fight. So that I'm not really impressed with that as well. Beat Jim Miller. Actually, not a bad win at all. But he lost to Billy Q. He got finished. And I got subbed by Mokana. No shame in that. But I mean, one thing Hubbard's going to do is he's not going to slow down. He's going to be in your face. He did that in the Figlak fight. I thought he lost that fight. I don't know how that was unanimous, but he showed that his cardio's there. Lost against Halabaugh. Halabaugh's great, got great submissions, and had a few win on the regional scenes before the Ultimate Fighter. I think Hernandez is going to go balls to the wall in round 1, looking for a finish to stay in the UFC, and I think he's going to gas out, and I think Hubbard's going to take over. Not only am I betting on Hubbard, I think he's going to win this fight outright. This line makes no sense. Both fighters the same age, but I feel like Hernandez is past his prime. Give me Hubbard. Who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was a little bit on the fence about this one, but you just kind of cleared my mind up there, man. Alex Hernandez has the same formula, same recipe every single time out, and he never works it. I mean, and he's losing to the same kind of archetype of fighter: Billy Quarantillo, Bill Algeo, Damon Jackson, all these longer, trickier guys. But it's just the same thing with him. He's gassing himself out, going out for the finish, and then he can't deal with just the dexterity of these guys. And I think Hubbard has that. I think he's versatile in there. He's got the wrestling. He's got that pressure that can end up, giving him the advantage in the later rounds. And I think this is a fight personally that I think that's why the line is what it is. Just look at like pedigree and what the UFC world thought Alex Hernandez was at one point in time when he was, beating fucking all the way back when he was beating Beneil Dariush. I mean, 2018, but people thought this guy was going to be something special. He beat Aubin Mercier. Trinaldo, I mean, he had some decent wins, and then I think he just hit a wall. And when he lost to Drew Dober, I think I remember that one. And then the lost to Moises, then it's just got worse from there. Moicano, Quarantillo, he can't get a win. And now, like you said, he's back against the wall. He's gonna fight for his UFC career. And Hubbard, I just think he's savvy in there. He's pretty good at just getting out of the way of those big shots, closing the distance and just hugging his opponent, making them feel a little uncomfortable in there. He's not the best finisher. Like he only has, he's got seven finishes on his record, but I just think like his finishing instincts aren't always the best. He could do a little better in dominant positions, but I think over the course of the later rounds, Alex is going to give him a lot of opportunities to get to those positions. And on the ground, I think his wrestling is going to take over. So I do agree with you. I don't know what the line is now. Yeah,
Hernandez is minus 200.
Yeah, minus 200. I think that's a lot of value there. So I agree with you, man. Yeah, Hubbard is a good underdog pick this week. So I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're on the same side with this one. Yeah, not much to be said. Another fight that, in my opinion, is pretty easy to break down. I think Hernandez goes for the finish early, and I feel like he could gas out. I don't think he knocks out Hubbard. Has Hubbard been knocked out? No, he is not. So how does Hernandez win the fight? Maybe he wins by decision.
Exactly. Like he's not winning a 3-round decision over Austin.
I feel like he's the more talented fighter, which I feel like is the reason the line is what it is. But if he gasses, what is talent? So yeah, I'm gonna go Hubbard to win the fight, and I'm gonna bet on him as well. Yeah, let's move on. Before we do that, we have Ashton Shields saying, ban baked Eric from the chat. You give him he going in a room who's coming out alive. Give me John Jones. And baked Eric has clapped back. Say that's Dana White's burner. Maybe it is.
That might be Dana White's burner. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
top tier glazing right there.
Amen to that. Let's move on. Ihor Poteria versus Cesar Almeida. One of my parlay, like, I don't know what's the word, my parlay, like, chains. One of the guy that's going to be the main anchors. That's what I was looking. One of the parlay anchors of the week for me is going to be Cesar Almeida. I think he wins this fight. I think he dominates this fight. I'm willing to lay fucking minus 400 here. I think this is an easy win for Almeida. I think this guy on the feet, this guy is incredible. He's coming off a close fight against Roman Kopylov. He got taken down a few times, which is why he lost. He looked great on the feet against another really skilled striker, but just got taken down. I feel like Poteria doesn't have the grappling that Kopylov does, and even if he does get him down a few times, like Budka was able to do, he's going to slowly gas out, and Almeida's going to pick up the damage. Not a lot to be said about this one. It's literally going to be a guy who's Almeida's going to be clearly better on the feet against Poteria. Poteria's going to try to grapple, and I just think he's going to gas out. Almeida's going to take over, and he's going to knock him out. We've seen Poteria get knocked out multiple times. I think it happens again here. Give me Almeida, knockout. What do you got, Rohan?
Boom. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't really got much to add. I just think you look at the tape and Cesar Almeida, there's a reason. I mean, this guy, he fought Alex Pereira, right? Beat Alex Pereira. I mean, he's got some nasty striking. And I mean, we saw it in that UFC debut against Budka, I think it was, right? Dylan Budka.
Yep.
Yeah. He looked just on a different level in that fight, and I think that one is a lot more comparable of a matchup to Ihor Poteria than Roman Kopylov, as you just laid out. Kopylov had the grappling, was able to take him down. Still, Cesar was able to pull out or at least get it to a split decision. Poteria does not have that grappling. He's a lot more spastic on the feet. I just think there's going to be so many opportunities for Cesar to catch him and put him out. Honestly, I do think he finishes him. Not much to say there, man. I 100% agree. If you're parlaying stuff this weekend, great anchor right there. Yeah, Cesar Almeida, you got to lay that price. It might climb as the week goes. He's minus 400 right now. I don't know. I just think he's a clear favorite in this fight, so I gotta agree with you.
Yeah, I literally have nothing else to say. I think Almeida starches him. Simple as that. Poteria's gonna wrestle. I think Almeida's shown pretty fucking good takedown defense in his Contender Series fight. He looked great on the ground. Stuffed some takedowns against Budka, made him gas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Kopylov took him down a few times, but that's a fucking Russian who spent a lot of time in Dagestan. That's gonna happen. It was what is that? His fucking 6th pro fight? Like
yeah. There's no shame in that. And he almost got the win. Like, yeah, he's got good enough takedown defense to deal with Poteria.
Poteria, damn right. Almeida knockout. That's all I gotta say. Let's move on to this next fight. We got Marina Rodriguez versus Yasmin Lucindo. Another one in which I think the dogs are barking, Rohan. Give me Marina Rodriguez, the fighter that I know she's 37, but it doesn't look like she's slowing down whatsoever. She had a brutal win against Michelle Waterson Gomez. I mean, absolutely fucking brutal. I can't believe that fight got out of round 1. It was insane. She lost to Andrade in a fight. I honestly think she could have won off damage. I really think she could have. She looked great on the feet. She hurt Andrade. She got taken down, but I don't feel like that's something. I don't think she's going to get taken down by Lucindo. Yes, Lucindo has submissions on her record, but I don't think she'll be able to take down Rodriguez. I don't think she has that brute strength like Rodriguez. She's only 22 years old. I feel like Marina has the 3-inch height advantage. Is going to be the more technical strikers. She's going to use her knees to the body. And I feel like on damage, I feel Marina Rodriguez will get the decision. I just don't. What has Yasmin Lucindo shown us that she can take the jump from Karolina Kowalkiewicz, who's completely washed, to Marina Rodriguez, a top 10 strawweight? Absolutely nothing. She had on the feet. I mean, she was competitive. That fight against Polyana Viana was somewhat competitive when it was on the feet, and then she took down Polyana Viana, who Augusta Wynn could take down Polyana Viana, and choked her out. So yeah, she did what she should have, but I don't know. I just feel like Lucindo's striking isn't as good as people make it out to be. I feel like Rodriguez pieces her up on the feet, She may get taken down once or twice, but I feel like she gets up and wins this one on damage. I'll take another dog. Give me Marina Rodriguez.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with you again. I wasn't actually expecting you to pick Marina Rodriguez. I was gonna pick her, and I thought that would be the dog pick in this one. But you're agreeing, and look, man,
Yeah.
look, man. I was even skeptical of that loss against Jessica Andrade. Like I know Andrade looked better than I think I expected personally, but I still thought Marina had a case to win that fight. And again, the age is and you could see it. You could see it in that fight more than because I mean Marina's been around the block, man. She's been around, she's fought some of the best of the best. I mean, she's seen it all at this point. But I just think, yeah, like you said, it's too big of a jump for Lucindo to go from Kovacevic, who was already on her way out the UFC, Pauliana Viana, Brogan Walker before that, just a no name. The loss against Yasmin Oregui doesn't look the best. I mean, it's not the worst loss, but still, I just don't think that her offense altogether, the grappling offense, the wrestling, the striking offense, I don't think her offense is where Marina's is. I think that her striking is just a lot more versatile. She's got way more options. She mixes up her kicks and her punches to the body a lot better. It's just that I worry about her in the later rounds. I'm not gonna lie. The one thing I worry about with Marina is that in the later rounds, round 2, round 3, she starts to get a little tired. And Yasmin starts to come forward. She's 22 years old. Like you gotta at least have that in the back of your mind. I mean, 15-year age difference between these two women. It's a big one. And I could see, Yasmin having success. I just don't think that her striking is good enough to consistently close the distance and get Marina down, because that's the thing. Like when Marina is getting taken down, it's by women that are able to get inside very quickly and actually threaten her with damaging shots, like a Jessica Andrade, who was able to get her down a few times in their last matchup, not able to hold her down. But Marina's a seasoned veteran. I think she can deal with a lot of Lucindo's pressure in this fight. Still do good on the back foot, landing counter shots and still being effective. So, look, man, I think it's going to be a fun fight. Like you said, this fight from a women's perspective is a lot better than that first one between Carla and who is she even fighting, dude? I forgot. Tisha
Pennington.
I'm sorry. That's how bad of a fight it is. But this one's going to be a lot more exciting. But yeah, man, I'm going to side with you. I think the underdog is here to play again. Marina is good as an underdog, man. I've backed her a few times in this spot, and I think she can come through again. So I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I had a big bet on her against Andrade, and again, I honestly thought she won that fight on damage.
I know, it was close. It was close.
Yeah, I mean, underdog. She was an underdog for a reason, but I feel like I had the value. I feel like it was a good bet, and we're gonna run it back. Let's go, Marina. Let's move on. Shout out to the 19 people in here between the YouTube and the Twitter. We appreciate you very much, and to anybody watching this on the rewind. We appreciate you as well. Make sure you like and drop a comment. It means and helps much more than you think. This is the next fight, right? Did I misclick? I was kind of just
Stephen Thompson.
Yes, it is. Okay, Stephen Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. Another fight that is just easy to break down. I feel like that's the tail of the tape on this card. You have Stephen Thompson. Okay, it's going to be a wash on the feet, right? Thompson's going to dominate this fight on the feet. Absolute domination. Buckley will be able to take down Thompson whenever the fuck he wants. It's just, will brain dead Buckley do it? Who knows? It's up to Joaquin Buckley. That's all I have to say. What do you have?
I think. Oh my God, this is such a weird matchup, but I don't see why Stephen Thompson. I'm so tempted to pick him because I'm not a fan of Joaquin Buckley. I love Joaquin Buckley's knockout. Arguably the greatest knockout of all time over
No, don't do that arguably shit.
Okay, greatest knockout of all time over Impa. But like, I don't know. I just don't know. The Stephen Thompson, like you said, this is a bad stylistic matchup on the feet for somebody like Buckley, who's very, very chaotic. He leaves a lot of openings, and Stephen Thompson is very sound with that kick, with that karate style. He doesn't sway from it. It's hard to get him out of his comfort zone. It's just hard unless you're ambushing him with takedowns. And like you said, that has to be Buckley's strategy, because if he even thinks about, because we've seen this movie before with Stephen Thompson. Like, I mean, he's had opponents, and he actually even survived a round with Shavkat Rakhmonov, which I did not expect. Right, like he survived a round. He was able to hold him up against the fence at least for a little bit in that fight, in his last fight. He beat Kevin Holland, obviously. Got overwhelmed by Bilal, overwhelmed by Gilbert Burns. There's no shame in that, but I don't think that Buckley has the wrestling of Bilal or a Gilbert Burns of 2021, which I think is still closer to his prime. I think Buckley is a little more raw of a talent on the ground. I think he's got wrestling, but what's he going to be able to do with it? Does he have much submission offense? Not really. I mean, he's got some submission wins on his record. No, he doesn't. He has no submission.
Does he really need submissions though?
He doesn't, but I'm just saying that the threat of that is not there, right? So what is the threat? It's that he holds him down. And like, I mean, I don't know if Buckley's going to be able to get Stephen Thompson down enough of the time to control him for minutes at a time and do what with it? Like, do what? Ground and pound there and here and there? Like, I don't know. He was able to do that against Nursultan Ruzaboev, but Nursultan underwhelmed in that performance. I don't think he showed up in the way a lot of people thought he would. Vicente was old when he fought him. Alex Morono, no weight in that win whatsoever. Andre Fiallo, same thing. He should have knocked him out. I just think Stephen Thompson's a different fighter, and I think, look, at plus money, I'm tempted to take him. I'm gonna take him. I've never been a fan of Joaquin Buckley's striking at all, and just his fighting in general.
The greatest knockout of all time. The greatest knockout of all time.
I've never been a fan of Joaquin Buckley's striking at all, and I just think that Stephen Thompson is gonna beat him. I think he'll be able to withstand the wrestling, because I don't think it's the best. Like I said, Bilal Muhammad was able to ragdoll him, but this guy is not that, and he's not a prime Gilbert Burns. I was impressed that Stephen Thompson lasted around with Shavkat, and that's what I'm using as the basis to pick him against what I feel is just an inferior fighter. Oh, there you go. Even at fucking, I don't even know how old Stephen Thompson is. Jesus Christ, 41, man. He should be a karate teacher full-time at this point. But hey, if you're going to pick him in any matchup right now against the top 15 in that division, this is as favorable as it gets for him right now. So I think it's a chance and he should retire after this if he wins it too. But that's all I got to say.
So you're saying Steven needs to go back to driving kids in a school?
Yes, bro. It's time. I mean, this is the perfect chance for him to get a win over somebody that people recognize, get out on a high note, and go right into the sunset, because that's what we want for the nicest motherfucker, man. That's what I want, but we'll see. Like you said, it's up to Joaquin.
Yeah, out of context, what I just said is absolutely crazy, but that's what he actually does. Well, I guess fuck you too then, because I'm a big fan of Joaquin Buckley striking. I became a fan of this guy's UFC debut. He stepped in on like a week's notice against Kevin Holland, and he came out there in a MMA fight against Kevin Holland looking like fucking Mike Tyson, bro. I immediately became a fan, and I knew I had to tune into this guy's next fight. I'm probably one of the only people in the fucking world who's watching like the early prelims in COVID when fucking Buckley took on now PFL champ Impa Kasagana. Shout out PFL. And fucking the greatest knockout of all time. How could you say you don't like Buckley striking, bro? What the fuck?
No, obviously, okay, that aside, like that, I'm just excluding that knockout and just saying overall, like his punch is a little wild. He's a little chaotic in there.
What's fun? The fuck?
Huh?
That's fun.
Oh no, of course it's fun, but
okay. Look, I get what you're saying. You've trained MMA before.
So technical, you know what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, when it comes to picking this fight, I'm nowhere near as confident as you in Stephen Thompson. I think on the feet it's a wash. Don't get me wrong, but then again, wasn't fucking Shavkat fighting on a broken ankle and took him down with ease? Even Kevin Holland took Stephen Thompson down with fucking ease. I don't know. I feel like if they take him down with ease, I feel like Buckley takes him down with ease. I'm gonna pick Buckley. I feel like he gets takedowns here. I feel like we won't really see. Like, I feel like what the type of striker that beats Buckley is either the striker that has a fuck ton of power, because we've seen Buckley get knocked out by guys like Alessio De Chirico and fucking Chris Curtis, or that can like throw knees up the middle and time the takedowns of Buckley. I feel like Stephen Thompson's just a karate guy. He'll sit back, throw his kicks. I feel like those kicks get caught, and I feel like Buckley's just too athletic in this stage of their careers. Gets the takedowns and wins the fight. But don't get me wrong, I 100% see what you're saying, because it's a big step up in competition, going from Nursultan Ruzaboev to Stephen Thompson. But I'm going to go Buckley. Rohan's going Thompson. The first disagreement of the night.
Oh, bro's gone. I think he was about to say we rarely disagree, which is very true. We do agree on a lot of occasions, but that one, I mean, it's a tough fight to call. He's back. He's back.
I always try clicking the back button on Tapology, but I didn't realize it was on StreamYard.
Oh, I got you.
I exited the studio, but we are back, and we literally lost 4 viewers just because of that. Yo, I'm sorry, guys. But we're back now. Before we head to the next one, comment section. What we got? Justin Lopez saying Buckley is him. That's my guy. He's gonna win. I think Buckley has more to lose than Steven. Give me Buckley. Well, I don't think that's how we should judge fights because Sean O'Malley definitely had much more to lose than Marab, and he fucking lost. But I get what you're saying. Banked Eric Nelson once again in our chat. Why I do not know, but he says Stephen Moggs Buckley. Elaborate, please. Buckley KO Stephen, and Stephen retires. I thought you said Buckley retires. So I'd be like, why the fuck would you do that? Justin having a good laugh in the chat. All right, let's move to Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. In my opinion, this is the hardest fight to call because Kevin Holland is 0-0-0 takedown defense. But Roman Dolidze's striking is literally a jab overhand. Go back and watch that Marvin Vettori fight. That's literally all he did.
Don't watch it, actually, because you're going to be annoyed the whole time.
Yeah, jab overhand, jab overhand, 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 jab overhand, jab. That's all he has. So I feel like the creativity on the feet goes to the Holland side. It's just, will he be able to defend the takedowns at 185? Yes, at 185. It makes a big difference because look at the fucking fights against Derek Brunson and Marvin Vettori. I mean, this guy literally showed off the worst takedown defense of all time and then moved to 170, and his takedown defense and scramble ability looked a lot better. And then he fights Macau, got fucking taken down with ease again. This is at 185, and then caught him in a submission. I think Roman subs him. That's my prediction. I feel like Roman subs him. I feel like Holland doesn't have the power to knock out someone so tough like Roman did, let's say. I feel like Roman will get takedowns here. Although it's easier said than done because Roman doesn't have incredible offensive wrestling, but at the same time, Kevin Holland has 0 takedown defense at 185. I hope he's working on it because if he hasn't, this is going to be an absolute mauling, in my opinion. I'm going to take Roman Dolidze to submit Kevin Holland. Roman Dolidze is super dirty on the mat. It feels like it was so long ago, yet fairly recent, where he just that win against Jack Hermanson, where he took the back, wrapped up the leg, and just pounded him away. It wasn't a submission, but it technically was. By the way, pause, pounded him away. That was gay. Yeah, that's all I got for that one. I'm gonna go Roman.
Like you said, it's probably the toughest fight on the card to call just from face value. Kevin Holland, he's got the striking advantage. He's got the versatility on the feet. He's a better, faster striker. We know that. It's just his fight IQ, man. It cost him every single fight. He does take risks that he just does not need to take. If he was smart, I mean, he sit back, just evade the I mean, this is not the apex. This is the big cage. He can evade those takedowns, those horrible takedown attempts from Roman Dolidze with nothing behind them, and he just sit and fight behind his jab and his longer strikes. His lead strikes, but I don't know what Kevin Holland is going to do in this fight. I don't know what his plan is going to be. I don't know, man. I personally, and I said this about Joaquin. I said I'm not a fan of his striking. If I'm not a fan of Joaquin striking, I despise Roman Dolidze striking. It is just horrible to watch. And yeah, I just think that on the feet, if Kevin Holland's able to keep it there, he can win this fight. I don't know how he keeps it there, and it's really I don't see Dolidze getting a sub. I think Kevin Holland's good enough in the jiu-jitsu department to just avoid getting submitted, but he's also been submitted. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this is
Roman, bro. Just say it. Roman's win. I love Kevin. Don't get me wrong, but you know Roman's win.
Yeah, it's a tough fight. I think the 3 rounds favors. I don't know, man. I'm trying to find a way to pick Kevin Holland, but I think the safer pick is which is weird though. What are the odds on this? It's still Kevin Holland as a pretty big favorite, -170. Like, what are the odds makers seeing as his path to victory? Like, I don't think he knocks out Dolidze, like you said. I don't think he's got the power to do so.
Super tough as well.
Exactly. Dolce is very tough. Kevin Holland's very tough. I don't see either of them knocking each other out. I don't know, but in a 3-round fight, if Kevin Holland can stay on the feet, he can do enough to win a decision in 3 rounds. You know what? I'm going to back Kevin Holland to win a decision, a 3-round decision, an ugly 3-round decision. I think he does lose a round. I think he loses clearly a round. I probably the second or the first round. I think he gets taken down and held for the majority of it. But I think there's going to be 2 rounds where he has moments, where Kevin Holland has moments, where he just makes the crowd go wild a little bit and excites the crowd. The judges get behind him. And I just think that Dolce leaves a lot of openings. Somebody like Marvin Vettori is not going to be able to capitalize on Dolce's horrible striking. Somebody like who did he fight before that? Nasruddin Imavov kind of did, and that's why he got a slim win. Anthony Smith not going to be able to do that. Kevin Holland can, and I'm going to trust his ability to win 2 rounds, close split decision. That's what I'm going to say. Kevin Holland. That's my pick.
I get it. I mean, yeah, this isn't really a wash, but I just feel like, how does he get up from the takedowns? I feel like once he gets taken down, once he tries getting up,
just like holds you against the fence though. Like he doesn't have great chain grappling. He's not somebody that advances position.
That's not to say he doesn't need to have great chain grappling against Kevin Holland. We saw Mikhail Olajaychik literally push him and take him down. Yeah, he got the sub, but he's not subbing Roman Dolidze, who's so high level on the ground. I feel like Roman takes the fight, but I get what you're saying. Yeah,
This guy, man, he's gone again. He probably did the exact same thing because he said he'd been clicking off Tapology and then clicking off a StreamYard. But the next fight we got is Kayla Harrison.
Bro,
yeah, see, you did the exact same thing. Exactly.
What am I doing? I'm tired, guys. I had a rough jiu-jitsu session today. It was very exhausting. I'm all over the place, and it's also 1 a.m, so I apologize. But yeah, we back.
4 more fights to get through. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Get rid of these ads on the screen. Fuck you, Tapology. Maybe we should move to Sherdog.
Low key, bro. Sherdog got it like that. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be on Sherdog, and yeah, I would not be opposed because they do have just less odds in general. But anyways,
we got chat saying I feel like Holland doesn't really fight to win. He fights for a
yes.
check.
That's a great point. That's a great point. That's a great.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I do agree.
Yes.
In pay, I don't know what he's talking about. He says who glazes Trump?
He's probably talking about Kevin Holland. That sounds like a Kevin Holland-ass thing to do.
I don't think he does.
He probably does. He's from Texas.
Yeah, I don't think
he's from Texas, bro. He
probably definitely doesn't glaze Trump. Who are you talking about? I don't know. Kevin,
yeah.
Okay. I don't really know, but I guess so. All right, let's move on. Kayla Harrison versus Ketlen Vieira. I'm gonna take Kayla Harrison to absolutely dominate this fight, hence the line. The only thing you can be worried about with Kayla Harrison is the cardio. You look back at her PFL days, she lost a 5-rounder against Larissa Pacheco in her last fight in the PFL. Or was it her second to last fight in the PFL? Then she fought Aspen Ladd, I believe. The only thing you can worry about is her cardio. Ketlen Vieira also has horrible cardio, so we don't have to worry about it. It's going to be a mauling. Harrison's going to get whatever takedown she wants. And I feel like even if she gasses out, if she doesn't get that early finish, which I do think she will, Vieira will also gas out because she's never experienced such high-level grappling in her life. Another fight that's easy to break down. I'll take Kayla Harrison by a domination. Who do you got, Rohan?
We saw Kayla Harrison in person when we went to that meet and greet in Ariel Helwani's live show, man. We saw her on stage, and even at our freaking nosebleeds angle, just looking at the freaking size of this woman's legs, oh my goodness, bro. You just never seen some shit like that. And the division has not seen anything like that. And neither has Ketlen Vieira. We know she has not seen anything like Kayla Harrison. She is not ready for this. It's going to be a wash, man. It's going to be an absolute mauling. Kayla Harrison, like you said, the only problem is the cardio. And it really it's not even that big of a problem. Like that was a 5-rounder and she slowed down, reasonably against Pacheco for the 3rd time she had to fight her. And Pacheco like damn near did a whole transformation in order to beat her. So it's I don't think it's as big of a concern. And like you said, Ketlen Vieira, I mean, this is just a perfect opponent, just perfect tune-up fight for some of those bigger names that we're eventually going to see her face down the line, because we know that she's got some big fights on the horizon, potentially against the winner of the co-main event. We shall see. But I do think that this fight is going to be absolutely one-sided. Kayla Harrison taking her down, doing whatever she wants. And yeah, that's all there is to it. I mean, I wish there was more to say about this one, but Kayla Harrison is a different level of grappler, a different level of wrestler. There's nobody quite like her in women's MMA at the moment. So yeah, this should be an easy one.
You know what's so funny that I just saw on Twitter?
What?
Our boy Chris Barnett opened as a -700 betting favorite against Junior Tafa.
Oh my God. Wow.
That's our boy. We gotta let it up.
Yo, that's crazy though. -700 for. Wait, you said Beast Boy?
Yes.
Oh
no. Rohan and I, our first ever MMA experience that we ever sat down and watched together. Our first ever great moment was Beast Boy versus Jake Collier. Right? Beat him and then had the greatest post fight. He's like, thank you.
Thank you. We do this for you. Oh my God, bro. That is crazy. -700 against Junior Tafa. Hey man, those Tafa bros are in the gutter after that last performance too, where who was it? Freaking Walter Walker got him.
Oh my God.
Oh nah. They need a win bad, but that's crazy. Hey, go Beast Boy.
Go Beast Boy. Yeah. Lay the juice. -700.
-700.
Yeah, with this fight, that's it. You talked about everything. There's not really much more that needs to be said. Let's move on. Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista. Batista's the slight favorite in this matchup. Batista's looked really good as of recent. Like, he had that win against Simone, dominated that fight. I thought Simone was going to win. Batista goes out there and dominates. Beat Damone Blackshear. I feel like he lost that fight, but whatever. I think Blackshear's really good against a guy that doesn't have brutal power like Montel Jackson. And then submitted Guido Canetti, submitted Benito Lopez, submitted Brian Kelleher. This is a step up. This is a step up, and this is against a guy that has arguably the best takedown defense of all time. Who's going to win on the feet? Who went away from the UFC to go box? It was Jose Aldo. I feel like this line makes no sense. I feel like Aldo will obviously be able to stuff the takedowns. He did it against fucking Merab Dvalishvili, who wasn't able to take him down once, even with his chain wrestling type of style. Yeah, simple as that. Another one. Will Batista be able to get Aldo down? No, he will not. One thing that doesn't age for most fighters in MMA is takedown defense. Aldo is a freak athlete. He has incredible takedown defense. I don't know how he does it, but it's just absolutely incredible. And on the feet, I mean, he looked so good against Jonathan Martinez. He hurt him badly in that fight. Didn't finish him, but he hurt him bad. I feel like he'll be able to. But we've seen Batista get knocked out. I feel like Aldo will also be able to hurt Batista here. I don't know about finish him, but I feel like he wins this fight. I do not understand the line. Yes, he is 38, but he looked really good in his last fight against Jonathan Martinez. Give me the dog, Jose, the King of Rio Aldo. What is his nickname? Junior. Jose Aldo Jr.
The King of Rio, man. Arguably, no, not anymore. But man, it just has to be said what this guy is doing. He's 38 years old. And that last performance against Jonathan Martinez, man, you just got to sit back and fucking tip your cap. Just admire what he's doing, man, because the guy looks incredible still. That fight against Jonathan, he looked so good. I mean, on the feet, the speed is still there. The elusivity on the defensive side of things. I mean, the leg kick defense, the checking, he's got it all still. It's crazy. And then, like you said, the takedown defense is still probably the best in the division. It's insane. And I mean, can this guy make a run to the title? I don't know. I hope this division is still so deep, but he's right there. I mean, he put himself right back in the conversation with such a dominant performance in that comeback fight. And like you said, man, the line for this fight makes no sense whatsoever. I just watched back Mario Batista's fight against Ricky Simon, which, to your point, I mean, Simon was the favorite and Batista looked good in that fight. He looked really good and he won clearly, convincingly. Still, there was a moment in that fight and later where I think this is going to be part of the problem. I mean, shot for a takedown on Ricky Simone, almost got it, and then got immediately reversed and then taken down himself. And I just think that that's kind of how this is going to play out in the later rounds, where he's going to slow down. Jose Aldo's technicality is going to start to take over. This guy is so fundamentally sound. He doesn't move out of his little comfort zone. I mean, he stays so compact, so tight defensively, and is able to see everything still coming at him and respond and react so quickly. So I just think that on the feet, he's going to be faster. He's going to be sharper. He's going to be more versatile with the kicks. I think he's going to defend Batista's kicks very well, because Batista is somebody that, you know, he'll come forward with some crazy attacks sometimes, some jump knees and stuff like that. I think Aldo's going to be able to get out of the way of those, maybe even catch one, take him down. Look, I just think he's got all the advantages. I'm with you, man, 100%. I think we're going to see a lot of upsets on this card, man. And I think just maybe even some line flipping before the fight, because this doesn't make any sense. Like, you could argue that Jonathan Martinez is a better fighter than Mario Bautista, and he made Martinez look bad, and he really made him look bad. And the third round of that fight was his best round, and that says it all to me. So yeah, Jose Aldo, I'm picking him. You're picking him. We're in unison there again. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, there are a lot of underdogs on this card that I'm just saying fuck it and picking it outright. I'm not just saying fuck it, but I genuinely believe it. This is another one. Aldo's just going to be, it's crazy to say, but I think he'll be too fast.
It's crazy. He's 38 years old, and his speed is literally like it hasn't even changed. It's insane, man.
And you look at his run before he left the UFC. I mean, he is only losing to top competition. Peter Yan and Marab in that last run. Like, that's it.
Yeah, like the Marlon Moraes loss all those years ago, he arguably won. Volkanovski, Holloway, and Yan are his, and the current champ are his only losses. Like, that is crazy, man. Yeah, he's one of a kind. He needs more respect in those top conversations where you're talking about the best of the to ever grace the octagon. He is up there, man. What this guy is doing still, the longevity, gotta factor into there. Got to.
Yeah, 100% agree. Bank Derek saying Jose Aldo title run is inevitable. 100%.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. I want it. We want it.
The streets want to see it. The streets want to see it. For the first time ever, I probably will have. Will this break records for? Well, obviously it'll break records for how long I've talked about a championship fight, because I'm literally going to say 5 words about this fight. But I just don't want, like, I don't. You can go.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm putting you in that position. I'm sorry.
I don't even know, man. It's just an ugly fight all around. We know.
I want to go to sleep, bro. How about that?
Yeah,
I'm already getting tired looking at fucking Rocky Meth Head Pennington. Like,
look, man. Juliana Pena's got a lot to fight for, and she's an underdog once again. I don't even know why I'm saying this, but I feel like Juliana Pena is going to win the fight. I think the Amanda Nunes fighting, you know, double, whatever you want to call it, wasn't a trilogy. They fought twice. I don't know, man. It was a weird one. She got the historic upset and then got absolutely obliterated the second time around. But it's Amanda. It's the GOAT. I just think that Juliana has to bounce back from that in her head. I think this is a really winnable fight. And I mean, Raquel Pennington did not really impress anyone in that title performance against Mara Buenaselva. She did look good. I mean, I guess all things considered, but she's 36. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. What is there to say about this one, man? It's going to be a wrestling match. Juliana Pena is going to try to take her down. She's going to try to submit her. Raquel Pennington's probably going to look better on the feet. She's going to be faster. She's going to be sharper in the boxing department. That's going to be the case. And it's going to be a matter of who can implement their game plan. Can Juliana get the fight to the ground? Can Raquel keep it standing and do better on the feet? I don't know. We shall see. I'm going to side with Juliana Pena. That's where my confidence is at the moment, but I could be dead wrong. I don't know. I don't know. You go.
I go?
You go, man. 5 words if you want. I don't care. Say something.
Give me Raquel Pennington win.
Fair enough.
I think Pena sucks.
Hey,
I think they're both not that good. I feel like they're better fighters. I feel like there are multiple better fighters in this division.
Yeah.
I just feel like Pena sucks. Like, she had a fluke win against Amanda Nunes. What else? She got submitted by Jermaine Durandamy.
Yeah, that is
submitted by Jermaine Durandamy.
When was that though? That was like 2021 or some shit, wasn't it?
2020. Okay, who cares?
2020. Goddamn. Nah,
She's
I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Worse, right?
Yeah, I mean this is a whatever, man. They're both kind
Sarah
of.
McMahon, like that's nothing to me. She beat Nico Montano. That's the worst UFC champion of all time, Nico Montano. I don't even think she defended the belt once. Yeah, I think Raquel. She's actually on a winning streak. She's actually beat okay competition. She beat Bueno Silva. Yeah, Bueno Silva just gassed out, but again, she did beat her. I feel like she'll probably gas out Pena here too, just with the wrestling. Yeah, cardio will be her weapon here as always. She beat Vieira again. I'm not fucking jerking off, jizzing because of it, but she did it. Beat Aspinlad. Who cares? This is a good win against Macy Chiasson. That's a good win. I think Chiasson is probably could right now be the champion of this division. This fight was 3 months ago. I think Chiasson's gotten a lot better. Beat Penny Chianza. Like I just feel like recently she's had the better wins. She has the cardio on her side. Give me Pennington. I really just why this should be on the prelims even for a belt.
Yeah, this is just a terrible fight. I don't know. Hey, but we're gonna get cleansed shortly after because there's gonna be violence in the main event, if nothing else.
Let's jump right to it. The main event: Alex Poatan Pereira versus Khalil Rountree. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a big believer that Alex Pereira is extremely overrated. Like people putting him in the GOAT talk, saying he's even top 15, top 20 of all time. I disagree.
Top 20, man? You disagree with top 20 after this point, bro? Yeah. Even I'm like, okay, top 20, maybe you got a point. Top 5 is insane.
But how is that insane?
No, to say Alex is top 5.
Okay, yeah. How is it insane to say that the guy hasn't the last time he got taken down was by Israel Adesanya, and he got mauled on the ground by a middleweight striker.
I mean,
someone shoot a fucking takedown on this complete novice on the ground. This is an embarrassment to the sport that this guy is a fucking.
He hasn't. Who's gonna take him down in this division, bro? Yuri tried to take him down. He did take him down. It didn't work out. Jan did.
He's also retarded. He did take him down. He held him down for an entire fucking round.
Who?
Jerry.
Yeah. So did Jan. And what happened to both of them? They lost.
Yeah. Not a proper grappler.
I mean, but how many freaking proper grapplers? There's one. There's one grappler. So I mean, your whole argument is based off the fact that Ankalaev would beat Pereira, and I mean, we're gonna see that down the line at some point. He's gonna have to face Dricus if he is serious about going back down and fighting him. So I mean, he's gonna get tested eventually. But you can't argue with the results. That's all I'm gonna say. And I mean, time and time again. I picked against him against Yuri, and he made me look dumb. You picked against him against Yuri, made you look dumb. Every time we picked against him in the Jamal fight, made us look even worse. I mean, the guy is in the midst of one of the craziest runs I've ever seen in any sport. And I mean, he's already in the fucking top 20, man, because he's taking out guys he's taking out the best of the best, man. Like these are all championship fights. He's the most active fighter right now, 10 fights in a row. Look, you might have your biases, but I can't back you on this, man.
I think Pereira's gonna win the fight. I think he's gonna knock out Rountree because again isn't gonna shoot a takedown, and there's levels to this fucking striking shit. But you know what? Fuck it, yeah. That's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this matchup, Pereira versus Rountree. The fact that again Khalil Rountree is getting a title shot is an absolute embarrassment to the sport. How the fuck do you go from Anthony Smith to Pereira? You see Dolidze fighting Holland after his Smith fight. This guy somehow gets a title shot. It should have been on Ankalaev. That's how you know. The UFC is just trying to maintain their star, Rohan. They want him to keep getting built up and built up. We would have seen Magomed Ankalaev with the belt on Saturday if it wasn't for the UFC trying to protect their star. But Pereira's going to knock out Rountree. I mean, the kickboxing, it's a big difference. Yeah, Rountree has power, but at this point, Pereira's fought a lot of light heavyweights with power. Blachowicz, Prohaska. Rountree has a lot of power. I don't even think he'll get to him. 4-inch reach advantage, 3-inch height advantage. The left hook's going to be there all day, every day. The leg kicks are going to be there all day, every day. Yeah, Rountree has solid Muay Thai. Maybe he does check a few of those leg kicks. But all he has to do is show those kicks to the leg, to the body, and the hands will open up, and they'll catch him and knock him out in the first round. That's my prediction. What do you got?
First round knockout, yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see what approach Khalil Rountree is going to take because he's not the most insane guy in there. Like he does take his time. He's calculated. I'm worried about the leg kicks though. I'm very worried about the leg kicks. Anthony Smith was having some success with the leg kicks in their fight. And I just think that Alex, that's his best weapon. No, it's not. Obviously, the left hook is his most dangerous weapon, but his most accurate and effective weapon, at least as far as the kicks go. I mean, that leg kick is dangerous and lethal as it gets, man. I mean, it's so fast. You can barely tell when it's coming. He does not telegraph it at all. And I just think that that's going to be one of his biggest weapons in this fight for sure against Rountree. He's going to be so focused on the boxing, so focused on the power. How could you not be when you're standing in front of somebody like Alex Pereira? I just think, I don't know, this is such a big moment for Khalil Rountree. He's never really been. I mean, didn't he fight freaking Anthony Smith in the Apex? Like, you're going from a fight in front of nobody against a nobody at this point in his career. I'm sorry, Anthony Smith. I mean, Chris Dawkins, look, the wins are good. Dustin Jacoby split decision. Carl Robertson beating him by knockout is good. I don't know, man. I just think this is such a huge step up to go from Anthony Smith to Alex Pereira, and he's not going to be ready for that striking because Alex is just he's different, man. He's different, and he's proven it time and time again. Like you said, this is one of the tune-up fights. But I don't think Alex can sit back and take it lightly. I don't think he will. But we've seen some crazy shit in the past couple of years in the UFC, so you never know. Does Rountree have a puncher's chance? Excuse me. Of course he does. He's got insane power, and Pereira does have. He's been knocked out. But that said, I just think that the reach, the length, the versatility of Pereira is just going to be too much for Rountree. I think a finish is probably going to happen in the earlier rounds. I say round 2, early round 2. It always happens with Alex Pereira in round 2, so I'm just gonna stick with it. Round 2, early knockout. He keeps the streak alive, and he retains his belt. We will see him fight a very tough opponent next, I believe. Whether it's Dricus or at 185, which will be a challenge. If he has to cut that weight again and fight Dricus, that will be a very entertaining fight. Or it could be Ankalaev if he stays up here in the UFC, just does the right thing and gives him his title shot. So he's going to have a real big challenge next, but I think he gets past this one with flying colors because Khalil Rountree, like you said, he got lucky, and that's why he's in the title picture, but he's not really a title challenger. So Alex Pereira, we agree.
Yeah, he's not. There's levels. Pereira's going to knock him out. I feel like Pereira's chin is a lot better at 205 compared to 185 as well.
Yeah.
Seen him take shots from Blachowicz, Prohaska, but just got knocked out by Adesanya. But so I feel like that extra weight does help him out a lot. And I feel like levels, man. He's gonna spark him. Round 1, probably, maybe round 2. Maybe Khalil survives. We'll see. This is the first time I've picked Pereira in a while. I mean, you have to respect Pereira though. Like 3 fights since UFC 300. Every other champion has only fought once or less. Like
exactly. He's active. He's finishing fights. He's doing it in exciting fashion. I mean, you cannot do anything but tip your hat. And I mean, look, man, I think he's due one of these one of the top 20. I think he's due one of these fights, man. Honestly, every long reigning champion deserves one fight where they could just sit back and kick their feet up, knowing that they got it on lock. And I think this is his. Like Izzy had one of those. He had a few of those, man. Jared Cannonier, ain't nobody thought Jared was winning that. Marvin Vettori the second time. Come on now. So I think Alex deserves one of these, and then he's gonna get right back into it. Because I mean, every single one of those fights up until this point, we've thought that has a chance to lose. I mean, and he's come out on top of every single one. So I can't pick against him. I mean, we're not. So yeah, there's nothing more to say. The guy is something else.
I hope they feed him to Aspinall. If he somehow,
oh my God, if Jones is gonna run away like a little biatch, then we need to see Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall. That is and they fuck it up every time, man. Oh man. But yes, I'm 100% with you. That's what I want to see. That's what the world.
But it's not going to happen because Ankalaev's going to kill him. We can agree on that, right?
Hey, I do think Ankalaev is a real tough fight for Alex, man. But I'm not even ready to think about that one right now. I don't know. I don't want to think that.
I am. This fight's a wash.
I know. I was just saying, like, it's going to be a challenging fight. But even that one, like, I don't know. I do think Ankalaev has the best chance of anyone to beat him, though, for sure. So, yeah. I want to see that Aspinall matchup at some point, though. But yeah.
That's all we got, folks. There's your breakdown for UFC 307. Pretty confident in a lot of fighters on this card. I think this is going to be a good gambling card. I'm really looking forward to it. Bank Derek saying Pereira literally casts a spell with his left hand. He literally does. He's built as Joe Rogan said, he's built out of mahogany, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, man.
Top 20 lock. Fuck you. Yeah, that's all we got, Rohan. Looking forward to this card, UFC 307. It's gonna be sick. Any final words for the people?
Go Jose Aldo. That's what I gotta say. I'm rooting for him 100%. I want to see him get back into the title picture. I think Pereira, Aldo, Kayla, they're all gonna show up with some dominant performances, man. Even Jose. I think he's gonna look better than ever. So I'm excited. I think this is a great card, top to bottom, a lot of fun fights. So just enjoy, and we will see you guys on the other side. Parlay stream later this week for sure.
100%.
And yeah, be on the lookout for Instagram content as always. We'll drop a few more YouTube videos on here as well this week. We're planning on filming some interesting videos. So be on the lookout for that. Stay tuned as always. But yeah, enjoy this weekend, guys.
That's all we got, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a great stream. But we will see you in a few days for our live stream, probably Thursday or Friday. We'll get that to you soon. But for now, thank y'all. Signing off. This has been Lucas and Rohan. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful night. And adios.
Peace.